Now, maybe I'm just getting cynical. No, it's a possibility. But I'm starting to think that when the government says that they want us to pay attention to something over here, what that really means is they don't want us to pay attention to something else over here. It's an old magician's trick of misdirection. Keep them busy looking at your left hand so they don't see what the right hand is actually doing. Case in point, while everybody's been screaming about Iran's President Ahmadinejad speaking at the UN, the real story is, guess who shows up? Al Gore and California Governor Arnold Schwarzenegger. They're at the UN yesterday. What are they talking about? Global warming and new rules and regulations. If they get their way, the old Kyoto Accord may actually seem rational by comparison, and that's not an easy feat. For those of you who missed my groundbreaking special on climate change called Expose Climate of Fear, you're not alone. But one of the things that we really dispelled and debunked was the Kyoto Treaty. This is where all of the nations of the world are supposed to join hands, put flowers in their hair, and, place ridiculous limitations on emission standards. Fortunately, the United States decided, not going to really play along with that one, and it's been a good decision. Kyoto has been a grand, dismal, and indisputable failure. But now, some opportunistic politicians have seized the Ahmadinejad drama as a chance to get the bus to Crazy Town rolling again. They're hoping nobody sees them, trying to jumpstart the bus in the parking lot, because we're all looking at the front door. Well, we saw you, Arnold and Al Gore and the UN Secretary. They want the United States to take more responsibility for the global warming doomsday scenario. I say, no, not really. The U.S. didn't let you shove Kyoto down our throats last time. We're not swallowing the new and improved version either, at least until the next election. Sorry, boys, Iran's head kook may distract us for a while, but he doesn't distract us for very long. Stephen Moore is a senior economic writer with the Wall Street Journal. Stephen, Kyoto, am I wrong saying disaster?
Well, it was a disaster both because so many countries didn't sign the treaty, but thank God we didn't, Glenn, because what we're finding is even the countries that signed this treaty and have been so sanctimonious about why won't terrible United States sign this treaty, guess what, Glenn? None of those countries are in compliance with the treaty themselves. Why should we sign a treaty when in fact, we're more in compliance with the law than they are, and we didn't sign it?
Yeah, we did better than some of those guys, right?
Exactly.
Okay, so what do you suppose is coming besides, shoot blood out of your eyes taxes? What's coming?
Well, what Arnold Schwarzenegger and Al Gore want to put in effect is what I call Kyoto Treaty Light. And basically, in California, Arnold is trying to basically pass, I call it moveoutofcalifornia.com, because he's going to put all these regulatory structures on the industries, on the factories, and the businesses in California. And Glenn, this is a state that already has people leaving, so it's not going to reduce greenhouse gases. What it's going to do is move the jobs and move the businesses out of the state.
Okay, but if we sign on as a country, Stephen, correct me if I'm wrong. I'm not an economist, but I am a thinker. And I read the paper from time to time. We have the highest corporate tax rate in the world. How do you do that, plus have all these new regulations on us and expect to compete?
Yeah, my point about global warming is I do think this is a scam, and I think what's going on here is it's an opportunity for the radical environmentalists to put a new regulatory structure on America that will slow down our economy. And the real victims of this, Glenn, are going to be American workers, because we're not going to have a reduction in global warming. What we're going to have is all of the jobs move out of the United States to countries like India and China that haven't signed the treaty.
Stephen, real quick, you say that global warming is a scam. I'm not willing to say that the globe is not warming, because it is warming. I believe it may be natural, but even if man caused it, I think what the scam is us having the audacity to say that we can fix it. And especially everything that they're talking about, they refuse to talk about things like nuclear energy. Right. It really seems...
Yeah, nuclear energy is the one form of energy that emits no greenhouse gases. You would think the environmentalists would be jumping up and down for joy for nuclear power, but they're still against it.
What about clean coal?
Well put. And, you know, the reason I think that there's a bit of a scam element to this, though, is, Glenn, if you look at what happened 25, 30 years ago, virtually all of the climatologists were saying that we were headed to another ice age.
No, let's not go down
it's true.
I know. All right, Stephen. Now let me switch gears and go back to Ahmadinejad for a second. He gave a speech, you know, obviously yesterday at Columbia University. But the real story